now we're diving into the new topic for the chapter 3. And it's pretty, it's a simple one. So hopefully we're not here too long. Pero vamos a hablar sobre los pronombres demostrativos. So demonstrative adjectives. And so I don't know if you remember, but remember when we talked about the verb estar, which also means to be, right? Just like ser. And so remember when we were typing the verb estar, and I mentioned, make sure to write the tilde or the accent mark in the verb estar, right? When we're using está en la escuela. Él está en la escuela. He's at school, right? Because we're talking about location, so we're using the verb estar. Ella está contenta. Ella está feliz. She is happy. Él está en la escuela. He is at school, right? Talking about location, and we're also talking about emotions, right? Ella está feliz. She is happy. And so I mentioned it, hopefully I emphasized it enough that whenever we're using the verb estar, we have to write the tilde in the A, right? In that A. Está, están, right? Because if we don't write that tilde, what does that mean? What does that tell us? What do we know? What do we remember? If we don't write that tilde in the verb está, right? Ella está contenta. Ellos están en la escuela. If we don't write the accent mark or that tilde in the A, in la A, it means this or that. Esta mesa, this table. Okay, so we can't use them. We can't say esta mesa. We say esta mesa, this table, right? Versus está feliz, she's happy or he's happy. See, esta versus esta. See the difference? Notice the difference? Remember that tilde gives us an emphasis, right, of where we're pronouncing it. Where we put the emphasis in the word. Esta versus esta. Esta is using estar, which is to be, which is location or emotion, right? Esta means this or that. And so that is los pronombres demostrativos without the accent. And so there are 3 types of demonstrative adjectives. Hay 3 tipos. And so este, ese, y aquel. Este is the one that's similar to esta, right? We're using este because we're talking about el coche. So this example here is a car. El coche is masculino. It's a masculine car, right? It's a masculine. Car is masculine. So therefore, we're using este. Now, if I had an image here of a table, la mesa, esta mesa, right? And see, there's no tilde here, right? Este, esta. So este is just the masculine form of esta mesa, this table, right? So este carro, see? Ese carro, that car, and aquel carro. Right? So there's 3 different ways, 3 different types of demonstrative adjectives. And so, en contexto, este coche es muy rápido. Quiero comprar esos coches. Aquel coche es muy bonito. Este coche es muy rápido. Ese coche es muy bonito. Aquel coche, ¿sí? Aquel coche. And so, what differences you notice in these sentences? So we have what we know, the speaker and the listener. So this is important to identify which way, right, which is a type of demonstrative adjective that we're going to be using. So he's the speaker and she's the listener, okay? And I'll explain it to you why we need to know it. Este coche es muy rápido. So he's telling her, okay? Este coche es muy rápido. Quiero comprar ese coche. Speaker, listener. Quiero comprar ese coche. He's telling her. Speaker, listener. Aquel coche es muy bonito. What did you notice? ¿Qué viste? ¿Qué viste? Aquel coche es muy bonito. So we see that the place of the listener changes. okay? Este coche es muy rápido. So the speaker is close to the noun, right? It's close to the object. Este coche es muy rápido. He's saying this car es muy rápido. It's so fast. See? And she's the listener. She's not close. She's not nearby the object. Este coche es muy rápido, right? Now, on the second example, quiero comprar ese coche. I want to buy that car. See? Ese coche. Quiero comprar ese coche. That means the speaker is not close to the object, but the listener is. Quiero comprar ese coche. Now, on our third example, tenemos aquel coche es muy bonito. Now, the speaker and the listener are both far away from the object. So if something that's far away from you and the listener, then we would use aquel. Okay. So este libro, this car, ese coche, that car. Y aquel coche is also that car, right? But it is far away from both you and the listener, the speaker and the listener. Están lejos. It's so far. So another example would be, mira aquella nube. Look at that cloud. Mira aquella nube. Right? That's a perfect example because you're the speaker and the listener, right? The listener, who's also down here, somewhere down here, is also far away from the cloud. Aquella nube. Mira aquella nube. Look at that cloud. Mira aquella nube. Right? And so, 3 different ways. And these are only the masculine versions. Again, este coche es muy rápido. If we had a table here, la mesa is feminine. Esta mesa es vieja. This table is old. Okay, so este is just for masculine objects. Este coche, ese coche, aquel coche, all masculine. See, if it was feminine, esta mesa, esa mesa y aquella mesa. So I'll look into this. Entonces, aquí está. Again, we have the same example. Este coche es muy rápido. It's closer to the speaker, but it's far away from the listener. Quiero comprar ese coche is close to the listener, but not the speaker. Aquel coche es muy bonito is far away from both the listener and the speaker. And so, este is used for objects close to the speaker. Este would mean masculine. Y esta is feminine. Again, the accent, in the verb estar and the verb to be, we have the accent mark on that A. Okay, in this esta and this, we do not add an accent mark. Okay, nothing. Ese is used for objects close to the listener. Ese meaning masculine, ese carro or ese coche, y esa feminine, right? So we have to know whether our objects or nouns are masculine or feminine, like in everything that we've been learning in Spanish, right? Everything has to match the gender and the number. And so that's another thing that we have to take into consideration when we are using the demonstrative adjectives. And so, ese coche. Quiero comprar ese coche. I want to buy that car. See? I want to buy that table. Quiero comprar esa mesa. See? And aquel is used for objects far away from both the speaker and the listener. Aquel, masculine. See? I always eat a letter. Aquel masculine y aquella feminine. Aquella mesa. See? That table over there, way over there, like way over there. It's far away from you and your listener. And so we know we have the singular and the plural, right? Oh, okay. So tenemos una silla. We have a práctica. So before we even move into plurals, práctica. Again, so you can write in a piece of paper for your own if you took notes. Práctica, right? Él es el que está hablando. He's the speaker. Y ella es la que escucha. She's the listener. ¿Sí? Entonces, estamos hablando ya no de un coche, no de una mesa. ¿Esto qué es? What is this? es una silla, right? Silla. No es masculino, es femenino. Silla, it's an A, so therefore it is feminine. It's not a masculine noun. Entonces, vamos a escribir. Which one are we going to use? Are we going to use esta, o esta, esa, o aquella, right? So remember, so we know that it is a feminine. So we're going to be using esta, esa, and aquella for these options, for these practice. Entonces, la primera, I'll do it with you. Esta silla es vieja. Sí, esta silla es vieja. This chair is old. Okay, so try to do number 2. Número 2, esta, right here. This one. See? It's not close to the speaker. The object is not close to the speaker, and it's not close to the listener. See? La silla is far away from both the speaker and the listener. So are we using esta, esa, o aquella? What are we using? Hopefully, you're able to write aquella silla es vieja, right? Aquella silla es vieja, because it is far away from both the speaker and the listener. Y para la tercera, the third one, are we using esta, aquella? What are we using? O esa. Para la tercera, we're writing esa silla es vieja. And we have the speaker that is far away from the object, from our noun, and we have the listener is close to it, right? So when the object is close to the listener, we use esa or ese. In this case, esa, because silla is feminine. Esa silla es vieja. Okay, chicos. Entonces, we know the singular versions, ¿sí? Para una cosa, for one object, ¿sí? So, este, esta, ese, esa, aquel, y aquella. So make sure you have these in your notes, right? This is singular objects, one object. Este carro, esta silla. Ese carro, esta silla. Aquel carro, aquella silla. ¿Sí? Masculine and feminine, singular objects. Talk about one object. Look at that object over there, one. ¿Sí? Ahora vamos a hablar sobre si hay más. There's more than one object. Si hay más que un objeto, vamos a usar estas frases para hablar, ¿sí? Sobre más coches aquí. Estos, right? So, do you see that este, right? We had an E right here for singular, but in plural, we have estos, right? It changes to an OS. Entonces, estos coches son muy rápidos, ¿sí? These cars, okay? Are way too fast. ¿Sí? Son muy rápidos. They're really fast. Estos, masculine. Estas, feminine, right? When talking about more than one object. Estas sillas, these chairs. Estos coches, these cars, okay? Esos, right, is used for multiple objects close to the listener. So again, we take into consideration the speaker and the listener, okay? Esos, when the objects are closer to the listener than they are to the speaker. Esos coches. Esas sillas. See? So those cars. Those chairs. See? Masculine and feminine. Esos coches. Esas sillas. Aquellos, again, both the speaker and the listener are far away from the object. In this case, aquellos coches son muy bonitos. Aquellos, it's far away from both me and you. Me as a speaker, you as a listener. Aquellos coches, ¿sí? Masculine, aquellos. Feminine, aquellas sillas. Those chairs over there, way over there, ¿sí? Far away from both the speaker and the listener. Aquellos coches. So we have to know these two, 3 different types, right, of demonstrative adjectives, see, singular and plural, but we also have to take into consideration whether they're masculine or feminine, and we have to look at the proximity of the speaker and the listener. Okay, entonces tenemos una práctica. You guys have a practice in Canva. Let me share with you. ¿Dónde está? 755 modules. So tienen una práctica con esto. Now this activity or this practice, you'll find it under lecciones, under the lectures where I post do I have it? Oh yes. So you have a link of where you have to you can download this page, it is a worksheet. So you can download this worksheet, or you can just write your answers on that page for review. Okay. And so you'll find this. Oh, it's a wrong module. Just make sure where I have it. One sec. So it is going to be under lecciones for this week. So you have the modules, you have the general description of the module, and then you have lecciones where I post like these videos. All the way down, additional resources, you're going to find a download PDF worksheet that works with esta, ese, esa, aquel, y aquella in singular and plural. And so you can download that and complete it on your own, and then turn it into me as an image, or you can just write the answers. You can write on the text box, uno, and then just write me the answers there like that. But that is a review, a practice for this topic. Okay. And then for the quiz, I've also posted a guideline, a study guide of what you need to know for the quiz. And so we have verbs like, the AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. So I really do recommend you doing some type of flashcards and studying the conjugation forms for yo, tú, and ella. So most likely you're gonna do something like this. You're gonna write bailar, right? To dance, and then behind bailar, you're gonna write yo bailo, tú bailas, él baila, nosotros bailamos, and then so like all the subject pronouns, yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes, and then write the conjugation. So remember, when you drop the AR, add that O, add that AS, add that A, add that amos, eyes, and an, right? O, as, a, amos, an. And so that way, when the quiz comes, you look at the subject pronoun, who the people are doing, who is the person or the people who are doing the action, and then you can go back to your card, or you can memorize them. You'll be like, okay, well, it's talking about him, right? Él or ella. I know that for AR, it's going to be the ending is AS. So ellos, él baila. Ella baila, right? If it's for tú, AS. Tú bailas. Ella, tú bailas, right? And so just study those AR verbs. I did have a list of verbs that you need to know, so I included that on the study guide as well. Again, if you want to review with me in one-on-one during the Zoom meeting, I'm here during office hours tomorrow on Tuesday, 12 to 2 p.m., Wednesday, 1:30 to 3 p.m. But if you can't make the office hours during those times, send me a message and I can meet outside of office hours if you need that help. We actually have the tutoring sessions in the library. So if you also need tutoring session, if you don't want to come with me, then they do offer tutoring services for this class, for Spanish 1, and so you can study with them as well. But other than that, yeah, just study for the quiz, and if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, chicos, nos vemos. Hasta luego.